So Rome managed to take over Madrid in the last video, which is a pretty big pickup for them, as well as Japan took their first Mongolian city over the break. So clearly this is a huge pickup for Rome. This is big because not only did they get Madrid here, they pieced out with Isabella for this northern Scandinavian city. And that's not as big of a deal, but Spain only remains with Barcelona in North Africa, which will surely get destroyed at some point. It's only a matter of time there. But this is big because they stole Madrid away, and now they're connecting their colonies in North Africa. This is huge, I think. Now, what Augustus needs to do is he needs to rebuild his army. Not only does he have control of Paris too, let's keep that in mind. So he has a lot of capitals already in Western Europe under his control. He needs to rebuild. He needs to build a bigger fleet as well as more land units, and he could easily, I think, swoop up on the remainder. I know that Portugal is facing a huge coalition, a huge world coalition. You know, Orleans would be very easy to take. I think the Dutch are pretty behind in technology, so I think it would be easy. They'd just have to fight through a lot of troops. And I don't know, Poland, they don't really have a good border with them just yet. Greece is facing a big coalition as well, so Greece is kind of distracted and defending themselves, but we will see. And in terms of Eastern Asia, boom, Sanchu was stolen away. And keep in mind that Mongolia has a tough time. They have no infrastructure in place to bring in reinforcements to defend the city. So if Japan wants, I think they could have an easy time maybe going after Genghis Khan, even though he does have Gatling guns here, and the Japanese seem to be further behind in technology, but we'll see. Any other wars that have popped up besides people going to war with Germany? Nope, nothing else. I did notice that the Sioux did declare, they did settle, technically part of the old world, which is interesting. Russia and Germany finally pieced out, and Korea and India piecing out. They finally settled, at least, I mean, technically this island is a part of the old world. What is this? This is the, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know what this island is, but I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, so that's interesting. It's interesting to see them settle so far away. Somewhat interesting. I think the Sioux are probably going to be the ones to settle Ireland. They'll probably be the ones. Ooh, Denmark going after probably Greenland. Danish Greenmark. I almost just said it right there. I swear. I really almost did. I wasn't even trying to joke about it. Okay, so what do we have? The Inca choosing. Stop giving me all these notifications. Autocracy. Okay. What is that? Have risen up and forced their... Oh, so it was a revolution. Interesting. So they must have been ordered before, and I think they must have revolted. Maybe not, actually. That might just... I don't... That just seemed like a weird... That could be crack. I don't know. I have no idea. That just seemed weird, the way they phrased that. If it was revolution, it would say revolution, though. I think. I don't know. Jeez, crack. Anyways, Japan is doing okay. Japan, I'm still kind of keeping an eye on Japan. Someone's going to go after the Philippines. Maybe it'll be Persia. I don't know. Persia's also being very aggressive with their own settling. Kimberley has not settled anymore. Ooh, Persia's going for two possibilities, two possible new cities. Southwest Australia is definitely, I think, on the horizon for them. Which, you know, I mean, I think Persia desperately needs. Persia has the opportunity of maybe being a really good power here in the Middle East. Even though they're not connected they're divided by the Babylonian Empire. A lot of frigates here. I think Russia might be thinking about considering an attack against Theodora, which I have to say, very disappointed in Theodora as of right now. She really has not done anything. I know that she's in a tough spot, but actually not really. No, she should be attacking Istanbul. There's no reason why she shouldn't be attacking Greece. I'm sorry, Germany. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be attacking Greece. That won't go so well for you. Okay, so no notifications here. Turn 280. We're seeing once again, we had Queen Victoria try to take over Orleans, but nothing ended up happening. Even Portugal is going after France now. Or vice versa. It was actually France declaring war on Portugal. But obviously that might backfire for France. That actually could really help out Queen Victoria. Wow. Okay, so I didn't expect something like this to happen, and actually there's no big... shouldn't really be a wow moment, but maybe towards the later part of the campaign, Mongolia must not be doing very well at all against Tibet. They must have lost a lot of troops, because multiple people have declared war on Mongolia. I think Korea might be thinking about it soon. The Huns and the Boer have pieced out, and the Huns and Russia have also pieced out. This is the final Hunnic city. I think the Mongols are going for it here, but actually that could be open borders. That probably is open borders, actually. But yeah, no, apparently Mongolia had, I think, a really tough time taking over Tibet. And I guess I get that. There's a lot of hills here, but I don't know. Attacking from the north down is probably much more difficult than attacking from the south to the north. Like Vietnam would have that opportunity. I think they'd have a much more successful time trying something like that. Also, over the break, I did notice that the Americans had a pretty unsuccessful time attacking the Mayans. They have sent over ships, and they did send over a few units. This hurts, to be honest, because I think they lost a handful of units by trying to attack South America. So that's not good. Off the Yucatan Peninsula, I don't think anyone's going to really be able to take over the mines except for the Inca, and not even right now. The Inca are going to have to wait a considerable amount of time until they get more planes, more ships, stronger ships like battleships. But either way, I think the mines are going to be pretty safe for now. North America is still very peaceful. Weirdly peaceful. I have no idea why. California is just going to keep on going, I think. I think eventually they'll go after Siberian lands, even though they technically have a tile under their control. Japan is reorganizing, and I think they're going to be going for their second Mongolian city. Japan has a really good opportunity here, man. I really want to see Japan do well, too. There's a lot of civs that I'm rooting for just because we haven't seen them do well in the past. And this is their opportunity to. With the introduction of all these new civs, I mean, there's still so many civs still alive. And a big thing is the bigger map. The bigger map, I think, is almost making as much, if not more, of a difference. Okay, well, there's 60 civs. That's going to make a huge difference. But the big map, I think, is creating a huge difference. Also, yeah, I forgot about this. The Ashanti declared war in Morocco over the break. Didn't think it was really much. I didn't think it was really worth it to mention it because, well, yeah, there's obviously this is going to get destroyed. Morocco will be, I think, eliminated here because I don't believe they have any other colonies. I don't think they do. Ethiopia is staying very quiet, which is strange. Okay, so we have, well, I mean, Ethiopia declared war on the Huns, but that doesn't really mean anything. Siam won't be able to take over the final Hunnic city. It would only be the Mongols or Tibet, maybe. Maybe Persia. Yeah, but the Huns will be safe there. A lot of random battering rams out this way towards Central Asia. A lot of turtle ships. Korea also very quiet with their own kind of aggression. Not really showing much. They do have open borders with Japan, or at least Japan has open borders with them, which will certainly help the Japanese AI navigate towards this northernmost Mongolian city. But we'll have to see how that works out for them. 1822 AD, I guess I should be checking on the demographics. Notice that in North America and in the Old World in general, there is no religion. Still nothing. I don't think there's even really a pantheon. Bam, Morocco has been destroyed. Yeah, nothing. No pantheon, no religion. And that will be a big factor coming up towards when more of the religious civs start to set. Oh my gosh, Denmark's going after Ireland. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I want to check on religion, but at the same time, it just takes so much time. There's so much interesting things going on. I like to just bam, 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 hit, hit, hit. Next turn, next turn. I love the navy that the Ashanti have built up along their capital here. But anyways, I guess we'll briefly check over it. Let's check over world religions. Right now, the Byzantium Empire, that's why their score is so high. I was wondering why they were so high on the score list, but it's because they have 83 cities following Sikhism. Holy crap. That's amazing. Ethiopia has 40, which is pretty good. They're sending over a lot of missionaries as well. Tibet's not doing bad either with Buddhism. But yeah, the dominant religion is Sikh right now. I'm sure controlling most of Europe, Eastern Europe, maybe parts of Asia. Definitely. Let's briefly check on the demographics. Right now, we've got a pretty big tie between, like I said in the previous video, I think top two civs easily are the Congo and the Sioux. However, right now, they're surrounded by great powers from all different sides, so that could change at any point. Literacy is being dominated by Korea. And that's all we can really get out of this information. And one more thing that I will show, just very briefly, just because I know that we haven't had this turned on for a while. Bam, single player score list. Now we can check on the score. Score-wise, the Congo are winning. Then the Sioux. Sioux aren't too far behind at all. The Ethiopians in third place. Catherine in fourth place. Then we have Korea, Theodora, which is, they're only there because of their religion. So is that Tibet? Yeah. Theodora and Tibet are only there because of their religion. The Ashanti not too far behind. Argentina, Rome. Surprised to see Rome actually so low. Texas very high. Why is Texas ahead of the Inca? The Inca look much better than Texas, but again, score, you can never really... Score is very easy to manipulate. It probably is because of wonders. Texas has built a few wonders as of recently. But yeah, I'll put the score list on for a little bit here, since we're not as focused on it. Rome continuing... I'm sorry, France continuing to defend themselves pretty well. And I don't know what Rome is thinking. Rome has a lot of opportunities now. What's going to be interesting is, I think it's only inevitable, is that Rome will declare war on the Ashanti, and that will be a very interesting battle. First of all, he's going to need to build a much bigger military, mainly a bigger fleet inside of the Mediterranean. He will win that war. He'll lose 3 colonies, but I think the Ashanti will lose 4. It would be a very back and forth, much like a big switch, I think. But either way, this is interesting. The African powers also staying so far pretty quiet. We're about to get into kind of that third age of war, if that makes any sense. I have this big book that I'm writing, this big Civilization 5 AI book that I'm writing, and I have this theory that there are these different stages of wars in the campaign. Obviously, there's different stages in terms of technology and things like that. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, the AI goes hardcore into war around turn 100. Then there's like this almost this, and I don't really want to call them world wars because they're technically not world wars, but there's wars going on all over the place, and it occurs between turn 100 and 200. There's this second wave of wars between turn 200 and 300, and so on. So I think we're going to be getting closer and closer to the third waves of wars between 300 and 400 turns. That it's not that happens. The wars are happening all throughout those 100 turns. I'm saying that there's a time somewhere within those turns, within those 100 turns, where it gets very intense. There's like a good 10 turns within every 100 turns where things get very, very intense. Big wars occur. So we've got Kimberley and Germany. I think we're on the slope down out of the second wave of big wars, and we're about to ramp up. Obviously, each one of these waves gets more and more intense because, if you know, Civ 5 makes it very easy towards the later eras of the game to take over cities with military technologies and things like that. So obviously the wars get crazier and crazier with every wave. And that's just kind of my big theory. I don't know if that makes any sense. And that might not even be something relatable to just a random map, a random Pangea map, or a random, continents map. But with these Earth TSLs that I've done, that's what I've noticed happens. Oh, good, the Mongols are going to settle another third city. Good for them. They really should have got that up a lot longer ago. So we should be seeing that, and that those huge wars between turn 300 and turn 400, those are when things get very interesting. And then obviously there's late game wars between 400 and 500. But this is where I think you exponentially see more cities fall with each wave of war. Waves of war. That's each one of these waves. So that's something that I've been trying to theorize here, and I think that there's definitely some support from you guys. That might be kind of a theory, kind of a true theory. It seems like it happens almost in every AI only battle that I've done. But obviously that can be. It's not defined by those points there. It's just there's usually 3 or 4 very big waves of war. Byzantium and Novgorod. Okay, well, Byzantium finally getting themselves involved in a war. Actually, no, that's the opposite. Novgorod versus Byzantium, Theodora. So, why? Those civs, they are not close to each other. Novgorod has no reason to be in an immediate war, an immediate front war with them. That makes me consider that maybe Theodora will be the target of a coalition. Maybe Russia, Poland, or Greece will start to declare war on Byzantium, which I'd like to see. I want to see Byzantium do something. Want to see them do something very bad. My favorite game ever was when Byzantium won. I don't know why. Actually, I don't know. There's 2 favorite AI-only battles. One of them, I can't even remember like what one of them is. Like, so the AI-only Europe campaign we did with Byzantium winning. Yep, that's a coalition. So someone else is going to join in, I think. Someone along a front might join in against Byzantium. So I think the second edition that I did with Europe, where Byzantium won, was one of my favorite AI only battles ever. The next one would be I can't even remember if it was an old world campaign or if it was just a regular TSL. I think, yeah, it was just the last world battle that I did. It was like France and like Russia and Korea. That we had all these big powers. Canada, that was the other one. But that was, yeah, that's safe to say that a lot of people loved that campaign too. Either way, I'd like to see Byzantium involved in more wars, and I think that might happen here. Although Russia might be the ones that declare war on them. Russia's stayed very quiet. Russia still, remember, Russia's still not settling, which is really interesting. They're not settling out over this area. So I don't know what to say about that. Also, notice Rome. Notice Rome kind of accumulating power over this way. Let's see what Russia decides to do. I mean, I don't know if they're going to declare war now. None of the declarations of war against Theodora is going to cause her to lose units. So it's not as likely as, we're not really going to see, I don't think, a snowball effect where people are going to join in. If there's a possibility of Theodora losing units, then yes, we could see that snowball effect occur, but I don't think so. Notice that the British have their redcoats, unique units. I think stronger than the riflemen, which it replaces. I think in terms of combat strength. Oh my gosh, Denmark did not settle Ireland. What are you doing? And the Netherlands very dangerously close to taking over this Greek city. Greece managed to survive that coalition with only losing about one city. No, 2 cities, I'm sorry. They lost 2. Still, small cities. They weren't like the best cities in the world. Let's go and check in on Australia. Kimberley still has not used anything. Babylon and Theodora. Okay, so now that's going to be interesting. Especially because there is an immediate border there. That will, I think, lead to more civs joining in. Specifically Greece, too. Greece and Rome would be the big ones if they were to declare war on Constantinople. Again, it's a big city. Obviously, Russia has a big reason to take Constantinople because that would give them a pass through the Black Sea to the Eastern Mediterranean. Obviously, they would need open borders with Greece, but it would still be a big thing because notice like Russia's really focused on their kind of fleet here. In I guess this is Crimea, something like that. They've really built a lot of boats from just this one city. So they definitely have a pretty big purpose. They need to take Constantinople, and they will be able to invade kind of more of the African powers. Could be very useful for Catherine in the future. But I don't know. Greece would have, I think, a lot more luck taking Constantinople than anybody else. But if it was kind of a wombo-combo war between Alexander and Catherine, then you never know. It could be kind of even. But I'm excited to see what Babylon does here. A lot of range units, but as well as these boats are ranged as well. But they're kind of out of date. We'll see if anyone else decides to join in. It all depends on how many... You know what? This could have the opposite effect for Babylon. We could see maybe Persia attack Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. Although he does have open borders. It's less likely since they have open borders with each other. But it's still possible. Russia could also declare war on Babylon. I didn't think about that either. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.